So, anyway. Oh, I think we're live. Hi, didn't see you there. I'm Joe,
Yeah.
and this is
I'm
Gemma.
I'm
And
Gemma.
welcome to the Gemma and Joe Show.
Yeah.
And today,
Welcome everybody.
today we're going to talk about some interesting topics, everything from autism to depression and anxiety. We figured we'd go live. We've been talking about this for a long time, haven't we, Gemma?
Yes, we have. I'm excited. I've got my plan.
We put a lot of effort and energy into this, and now, right at the last minute, I can't find my side of the notes that we've been taking. But oh well, I will wing it. We will figure this out. So, Gemma,
Yeah.
how are you doing this fine day?
I'm good. I'm energetic and I've dressed and yeah, I'm happy.
You're
All
up,
good.
you're ready?
Yeah.
It's awesome. If you guys are just
I,
tuning in and you don't know who Gemma is, Gemma has a channel called Gemma's Journey Grace. There is a link to her newest poem in the description. If you want to go see some of her poems, listen to her awesome words, check out her journey, go be a part of that. Go smash that like button, go hit that subscribe, and follow Gemma and join her journey as she navigates through her life, through her emotions, and just lives her life in general. It's an awesome show. It's a great time.
yeah. And guys, also, if you don't know who Joe is my awesome American brother, guys. He runs the channel The Awesome The Gemma and Show. For him and his family go out of their comfort zones. They do a lot of fun, exciting Bigfoot adventures. They go out and have a lot of fun. They do a lot of good challenges. They also joined in with the poetry challenge. They've done some awesome poems the last few days. It's been a real good blast to be interacting with them. And guys, if you don't know who they are, I will put the link in this video so that you can see them after the stream's done, so you can go and check them out. But trust me, you'll have a lot of fun being on board with them. I am too. It's just a total blast.
Awesome. We've got Panther Zone Nerd Studio in the room. Sorry,
Hey,
and
Panther.
we've got Carter Cakes in the room as well. That is
Hey,
awesome.
Carter.
I'm sure a lot more people will join us. This is probably one of the earliest times that we have ever streamed and definitely streamed together. I know we've done a lot of collaborations
Yeah.
offline and we've done live streams together on panels and we do a lot of conversating behind the scenes. And it's been an honor getting to know you, Gemma. And let's see here. It looks like we are 2 minutes into our show already. And what is
Yeah.
Panther says hi. What is the first thing you want to jump into? I know we kind of have a little script
Yeah.
script to follow. It's going to be about 30-minute long stream.
Yeah. So I thought first of all we can introduce what we're aiming to do here on the show. So from our perspective, what we're wanting to do is to do three things. And me and Joe have been coming up with this, especially Joe. And the three things that we want to do on this show is to inspire, educate, and challenge and have fun to educate people. So we're going to be challenging your thoughts, your perceptions on a lot of things to do with anxiety, depression, autism, mental health. And of course, we're going to have fun. It's going to be a lot of fun and get you guys involved. I think this is what we've been wanting to do and see what you guys know. And at the same time, kind of give it a serious spin as well. I think for Joe, that's been the main passion between us two doing this. So yeah,
Yep.
have fun and tag along.
Yep. So we kind of have some true or false questions prepared. We have a lot of autism facts that Gemma's got ready. She knows we've got autistic celebrities we're going to talk about. It's going to be a great show. So Panther Zone, you're in the room right now. Um, let's ask you guys, you and Chris Cakes, Carter Cakes. True or false? We'll just start off with a true or false question, right?
Okay. Yeah.
True or false? Autism is contagious. Is that true or false?
For me, it's false. But what do you guys think? Let's get your opinions. What do you think?
Yeah, we want to hear what you guys think. Carter Cake says it's false. Panther Zone says foses. Probably, probably false. Uh, yeah, and that's actually correct. It is false. So you guys are right. You guys don't win anything, but thank you for participating. You get to win the opportunity of being right. Plus, I will read your challenge. Panther Studio. Yes, I know. I know. Panther said false. We know. We know. Um, but yeah, it's false. There's a lot of misconceptions out there that like you can catch autism from sitting on the bus next to somebody or No, so don't let that stop you from engaging in conversation or sitting down next to somebody. In fact, you might not even know the person next to you has autism. So, how are you going to find out? Well, there's a couple things most people with autism do, but some people don't do it at all. Like for Gemma, and Gemma doesn't mind
Yeah,
if I point out a couple of these things. Gemma has
yeah,
issues making eye contact.
yeah. I suck at it. I'm really, really bad at eye contact. But some people on the autism spectrum are better than me. There's a lot of people, especially on YouTube, autistic YouTubers are better than making eye contact than me. But it's a personal perception issue. It's something that I just can't do very often. But I'm
Right.
good at other things.
Right, and it doesn't necessarily mean that she's not listening to what you're saying. It just means that she is focused on the conversation, but her still rolling her eyes or closing her eyes or not looking you directly in the face. And a lot of people take that as disrespectful or you're not listening to me. And unfortunately for the autistic community, a lot of people can't control it. Gemma's been doing her best. If you ever notice Gemma in a live stream, she's been focusing directly on the host of the show. She kind of avoids reading the comments though sometimes, and that might be because she's so focused on just making sure she's maintaining good eye contact. So
Yeah,
as you go through your everyday life and you make eye contact, just remember some people that's not so easy, and it's not because they didn't know any better. It's because they have to train their brain to do that. PF Wrestling is in the group. Thank you for hanging out with us. Um,
hey,
what there's another misconception too that we were talking about the other day with people with autism, um, as far as attitudes and personalities go. There's some people that are nonverbal, and if you don't hear an autistic person speak, it's not because they don't like you, it's not because they're afraid of you, it's just because they don't talk, and that's something that you just got to make friends with. You got to get used to that. PF Wrestling says he has autism. Panther Zone also says he has autism. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. You guys can correlate to some of the stuff Gem is talking about. One of the things that me and Gem are always talking about is when she goes out into society and she's trying to interact with people in the stores. Sometimes people get upset with her because she's not making that eye contact or she's kind of fidgeting, and they instantly take it as disrespect. If you're in a situation and you notice those signs in somebody, and all you can really do is just kind of instantly go, okay, well, maybe this person has autism or Asperger's or some type of condition to where they're not making eye contact. Overlook that and continue a conversation. Keep trying to be friends with them. Keep trying to maintain some type of social act that way you can get to know them. You can get to over these issues. They shouldn't stop you from being somebody's friend. And
yeah,
my brother-in-law Josh, who you guys have seen on the channel and stuff, he does the exact same I think that Gemma does. And I admit I was one of those people for a long time that was like, Josh, I'm trying to talk to you. Look at me. You're not taking me serious. And I think that Gemma's heard that quite a bit. So when I first told
yeah,
her about me treating Josh that way, she wasn't judging me harshly. She was just like, well, let me tell you why he does it. And then after she broke it down, I was like, wow, I'm a fool. I'm kind of an idiot. So but that's what this show's about today. We're going to try to displace some of those stereotypes, some of
yes,
the negative stigma, and try to be ambassadors for people that are just different, and it's hard for them to communicate. So anybody in the Panther Zone, you got a question for us? We know we got PF Wrestling in here. He just announced he was autistic, so is Panther Zone. Uh, and I think Carter Cakes answered the question false. Autism is not a disability. It's an ex. I don't understand that word, man. I'm sorry. But we know it's not a disability. It's a one of those things that kind of just sets people back, and it's a social it's an unnormal thing for people to have to deal with. So we're making autism normal again. I mean,
yeah.
neurotypical, right?
Yeah, and for me, it's getting across that we are all different, and the fact that we can communicate is just. I don't see it as a disability per se, but a lot of people do, and I think that's the trouble. When Panther is on the hill, I think we just need to acknowledge that we are normal, but we just are different. We have a different way of processing, and that's the assumption that everyone thinks is that, oh, you're disabled. No, we're not. It's just a different way of being on this neurotypical spectrum.
Right. It's a spectrum of color. It's a spectrum of people. It's a spectrum
Yeah,
of feelings, from people that are sensitive to dogs barking all the way to people that can deal with loud noises. That I mean, I have an autistic friend that shoots handguns. To hear Gemma have issues on the bus, and to hear this guy loves the sweet sound of a gun firing down a range. He absolutely loves it. He likes the sound of the targets getting hit. He likes the sound of the explosions if he hits something that can pop like that. Like, so there, it's just all matter of perspective. What you've trained yourself to be able to deal with, what you can't deal with. Gemma has a lot of toys and tools that help her get through these situations. She's got headphones that she wears. She's got fidget necklaces. She's got bracelets. She's got all kinds of stuff that she can literally pull out of a bag if she's in a situation and help her get through it.
Yeah.
There's one right now. I've been telling
Next to me.
I've been telling Gemma she should start her own line of fidget stuff because she's in a prime position to try to market it to people and maybe give a little bit of the proceeds back to a charity.
Yeah, I think it'd be something we can work on. I think for both our channels as well, it's a good way of doing some networking and getting people on board with the project. Also, not just for people with autism, but for mental health reasons. Like, a lot of people don't know I have anxiety disorder, and some people might think, oh, well, you're not anxious. And in fact, right now in my head, I'm thinking, I'm going to screw this up. I'm going to muck this up, and I can't process that. I'm like sitting going, okay, ignore it, and I'm going, I'm going to muck this up, and it's all going around my head, but I sit here and be calm because I'm able to.
Well, speaking of mucking this up, we mucked something up already. I just remembered what we mucked up. The very beginning of the stream, I wanted to announce every stream we do about this, the Gemma and the Joe Show. What we're going to do is we're going to dedicate each video to somebody that we've lost. And Gemma wanted to dedicate this video to a man named Matthew. So
Yeah.
Matthew, this video goes out to you. You are no longer with us anymore, and that's why it's so important that you know that we dedicate this to you. I wish I could have met you. It sounded like you were a big part of Gemma's life, and I want to dedicate this episode to my friend Dan, who I lost a couple years ago. And this T-shirt is a memory of Dan, right here, because Dan was the man. He used to wear glasses and a big mustache. And when he passed away, we had a bunch of T-shirts made. He was a great man. So now that we got that sappy stuff out of the way, we're going to do that at the beginning of the next time. We just totally forgot this time. But hey, we got it out of the way. We still did it. We can check that off the list. All right. So we are coming to our probably our second. Are we going to move on to a different topic, or what do we got?
Yeah. So what we're going to talk about was about autistic celebrities, weren't we? So.
Oh, that's right.
For me, we've got some autistic celebrities, such as people may not know, Daryl Hannah, which she is a leading model and autistic actress. She was in a lot of different movies. You may know Dan Aykroyd as well. He's another autistic actor. He's done Ghostbusters films. He's also been in the House on the Prairie films. There's people like Temple Grandin as well, which Temple Grandin's probably biggest celebrity out there for autism because she is a autistic scientist. She's a big American animal rights activist. She does a lot of protecting animals the way that they die. She makes sure that they die in a humanely possible manner. She built her own cattle ranch to help the process, and she's very, very bright, very, very clever lady. There's people such as Susan Boyle. I don't know if you American guys have heard about her, or some of the UK guys would have done.
I know Susan Boyle.
Susan Boyle is an opera singer. She's really, really cool and got diagnosed fairly recently, I think about 3 years ago now. And then there's another lady called Anne Hegarty over here who's a quiz master. She's recently been diagnosed as well. So she's a really, really role model for me. I think she's one of the main ones that I like to talk about and know about. There's a few other people that I can get on my phone I did write down as well.
We have to save some for the other videos though, don't we?
Yeah.
We could talk about autistic celebrities every day. Is there somebody in the audience right now that has somebody that they know is autistic that's a celebrity or an actor or achieving something awesome in this world? Because we want more examples of how you can rise to the top with autism, and you don't have to. Thank you for hanging out with us, Carter Cakes. We do appreciate it. So you have a great day. And I know that you said Dan Aykroyd was on that list, right? He was like the first person you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
I love Ghostbusters. Who'd have known you could have autism and still hunt ghosts? I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that could do that.
Ghostbusters is a classic film. I love Ghostbusters.
I
I was
know.
quite surprised.
And apparently they're going to make another one. They're going to make a third one, which I think would be like the fourth one since they did the. I really like the new one they made. So hopefully they make a fourth one too. That'll be great.
I hope so. I think it'd be good to end it on a good high and get the story out, I think. So I think that'd be a good idea to do that. There's some other people that I've got here on my phone that I say.
Oh, I could think of one that we both really like. Tim Burton.
Hell yeah.
Tim Burton has autism. That's right.
He's the most artistic director going. I think he's someone who inspires a lot of autistic people. He also has depression as well, so I think again people can relate to him more because he's quite a dark-minded person. He's very, very creative with the films that he's put out. He's very, very artistically directed. I really like his sense of humour. I think he's quite funny. But people might think, oh, you're weird. Why do you like someone like him? But I just really, really like him. He's a really cool dude.
I refer to him as a modern day Edgar Allan Poe because he's so dark, but yet he's just there's life in his words. It's amazing, and I like Coraline and all those things. I'm a big clay animation fan right now. We're working on a clay animation for the Gemma and I show. We've drawn some inspiration from his work. My whole life, I've been fascinated by clay animation. It's so awesome to literally just be able to make something out of clay come to life, and it's tedious, but it's worth it. It's worth it. So it's great to see somebody with autism that we never knew. It wasn't like he went out there with a T-shirt that said, "I have autism. Give me everything I want. Do everything I say." It was literally he just came to the top. He rose to the top on his own by his own hard work, his own dedication, and skill. The guy has got some skill. And Panther Zone mentioned that you are the best, Gemma. He said that you are the best a couple times. So I wanted to get that out there. And
So our next section, I think, is going to be a lot of fun. I think this is going to be the most challenging section that we're actually going to be doing.
Okay.
About the myths and facts, and I've just got the webpage that I saved on my phone, and I want you guys to see if you believe if this is a fact or myth. So the first one is autism in the UK and in America affects 1 in 68 people. Is that a myth or is it a fact? Let us know.
That's a good question. 1 out of 68 people are affected by autism. Is that a myth or is that fact? Another true or false question.
And then number 2, does autism affect more boys than girls? Is this a fact or a myth?
Does autism affect more boys or girls? Fact or myth? Comment below with what you think. This goes right back into the other discussion we were having off camera about a lot of people want to be able to detect whether or not their babies have autism in the womb and what to do if that. And in America right now, there's a lot of hot topics about abortion and stuff. And I know that people that discover their children have mental issues and Down syndrome and stuff, they can detect that early in the womb, and then they have the opportunity for abortion later if they choose to do that. I feel like people should know now if their child has autism, is detected with autism, maybe they shouldn't jump on that abortion option so quickly because, that doesn't necessarily mean their kid's going to have any less of a chance at anybody else at a life. In fact, like we just talked about, there's a lot of famous celebrities and famous people that have lived with autism and achieved greatness. So we can't let these things stop us from anything, whether it's autism or whether it's depression or anxiety or whether you have a cleft lip or you're born with no arms. You can't let these things stop you from achieving greatness. You must reach inside yourself and pull it out and rise to the top. And Gemma does it every day. I have issues with anxiety and depression. Gemma helps me with that. I had somebody the other day tell me, how could somebody with autism help you do anything? And I said, well, I took the time to get to know somebody. And you can too. There's a lot of people out here that want to help you. Gemma literally listens to me every day. Me and Gemma call each other up. We are accountability buddies. We talk about our actions. We talk about the things we promise to do. Gemma pushes me to be a great creator. I push her to be a great creator. Overall, we push each other to be great humans, and we want you guys to be great humans too. So thanks for tuning in with the show today. And did anybody comment on what they believe is the myth or the fact? So let's see. Let's see. It looks like Panther Zone says fact.
Which one are you answering, Panther?
The first one, I want to say the first one was a fact that it affects 1 out of 62 people, and you
No,
know what?
it actually affects more than that. That's a myth. It actually
Oh,
affects 1 in 100.
wow, 1 in 100 people.
Yeah, which means basically that overall in America and across the UK, it affects more than 2.8 million families.
Wow, so 2.8 million families are being affected by autism, and we might be able to reach out into the internet right now and grab a hold of their attention and be able to help them navigate through this. And
Yes,
here's something I
exactly.
wanted to talk about, not to get off topic, but the other day, I met a single mother of an autistic kid, and this kid is such a smart and such a brilliant child that, on first glance, you would think, oh, well, what do you mean that kid's giving you a hard time? But there are a lot of things that happen when we're not around, you know, because like we were talking earlier, sometimes you have to kind of fake neurotypical situations to navigate through it because you don't want people to negatively judge you. And I
Yeah,
feel like the entire time I was there, this kid was on his best behavior. And the mom, meanwhile, was like, well, you don't understand. This is difficult for a single parent. I get that. It's probably difficult even if you have two parents. But at the same time, if there's somebody out there that you can inspire that right there is the definition of a great mother to me. A mom that's doing it on her own, that's trying to deal with something she just learned about. Then the behavioral issues from autistic children they can range from moderate to extreme. Me and Gemma have met people that have an ability to harm themselves. We've met people that don't hurt themselves at all, that like real soft things. So it just, again, that's that spectrum, right?
yeah, exactly. We're all different. Like, people don't understand that not all of us want to self harm or have the idea of wanting to do it. Like, people assume that I do it, and I'm like, no, just because you think I do it doesn't mean I do. Yes, sure, I've thought about it in the past and I've felt low, but I've never done it. Doesn't mean that we're all going to be self harmers. Or another thing that annoys me is that people assume we're all headbangers, and it annoys me because we're not. There's a majority or minority group, I should say, that do it. That's due to stress, frustration, maybe being non-verbal. Whereas with me, I don't do that. I'm pretty much verbal. So if I do struggle, I usually tell somebody. So
Question.
it,
I have a question. When you mean
yeah,
headbang, do you mean somebody that bangs their head against a wall, I know that in the music world, there's people that like to listen to heavy metal music and headbang. So like, you mean somebody that specifically just kind of rocks their head back and forth like this?
yeah,
Okay.
they do it in a way of, it's meant to be called self-calming behaviour, but it's also known as what they call stims, which is self-injurious behaviour, also known as a stereotypical repetitive behaviour. So it will start just with rocking, and then they'll start putting their head, and then they'll get to a point where they bang it either on the wall or bang it into their own hands, or they'll bang it onto any surface they can get through to get rid of the pain or suffering. And I've known people to actually bang their head so repetitively they make themselves bleed, which
Oh,
is never ever a good thing to get to ever.
so what if a parent caught that at a young age and kind of saw, hey, this kid's got energy they're putting into one activity. What if we could gear that energy towards like playing the drums, and get the kid drum lessons and give them a creative outlet to keep that rhythm on something other than the back of their head or their wall or a chair. And I I'm gonna say a lot, so I'm gonna go back and count how many times I but
So yeah, I think for that question, that's a really good question, because if we can put an autistic child or an autistic adult into a situation where instead of them self harming themselves or doing the self stimulatory behaviour, if we put them into a situation that they like you say, doing drumming or making a music track or reading a magazine or a comic, then that self-interest behaviour is more likely to decrease because they're going to be less stressed and less anxious. But again, it's about supporting them and how to do that. Whereas with you, Joe, you really support me to cut down my self-stimulatory behaviour because I focus on stuff I like to do. So I speak to you, you calm me down, you reassure me. I know it's okay. I can use one of my sensory toys if I need it. If I'm getting stressed, I have it in my hand to fidget with, or I can sit here and wear it around my neck and play with it, or I twiddle my hair, or something to make me feel better. So again, it's about that communication, encouraging that person that it's okay, because a lot of the time people are scared. They go, oh, well, what about if we hurt them, or what about if we tell them the wrong thing? It's about just listening and supporting, and you, by doing that with me, proves that I can trust you, and I have that bond with you where I open up everything to you. I'm like, I'm not having a good day, what do I do? And I'm struggling, and my communication is rubbish. So it's about just stepping out of your comfort zone and helping that person. That's the best way that I can describe it. Is having that one-to-one bond helps as well.
I think the one thing that me and you right away learned about each other was that we're honest people, and we
Yeah,
also value our time. So
yeah,
we made it very clear to one another that if we're going to start trying to do things to change our lives for the better, we have to make the most of our time. And that's something we're always repeating back and forth to each other. You know,
yeah,
is I had to make the most of my time. I had to cut this toxic person off. I had to, and it's to the point where you have blocked channels. Both of us, we've blocked
yeah,
channels. We have just literally cut off people in Google Hangouts. We have, and the other thing we discovered is the argument for neurotypical is blurred between me and Gemma, because there is no, I am not coming at her like I'm in a right mindset. She's not coming at me like this is how all autistic people are. We kind of were like, look, we're both weird, and that's why we get along so well,
yeah.
honestly. But the other thing too is we figured that out right away, that she likes to listen, I like to listen. Fine, then we forced each other to start talking. And that was the problem, is we don't like to talk about it. You wouldn't believe that because we run off at the mouth in live streams, but it's part of our therapy. It helps us with our anxiety. And I think me and Gemma found common grounds. She was
Yeah,
right here, I was probably here somewhere, and then we both met in the middle as far as, well, this is what I have issues with, this is what I have problems with, these are my strengths. And then we exchanged that information and said, okay, look, I've been dealing with my anxiety without meds. I've been dealing with my depression without meds. You came to me looking for a solution that didn't involve meds. So I tried to explain that to you the best that I could. You've been putting some of my strategies into play. It's been working out
yeah,
for you for the most part, but then you went back to the meds because it was helping you, but you need to figure out that right balance. When it came down
yeah,
to you helping me deal with my anxiety, there was things that I wasn't doing correctly. You were teaching me about meditation. You were teaching me about
yeah,
self-awareness, about being responsible for my own actions. When I came to you and started telling you all those negative, ignorant things that I knew about the autistic community, right down to vaccinations cause autism, to autism is a behavioral issue that's an excuse, right down to, well, autistic people get away with anything, Gemma. Like, literally, those are things I was embarrassed to talk about, but you opened my mind by taking the time to listen to those stupid questions. And I
yeah,
think, speaking of stupid questions, we have about 2 minutes left in the stream. Do you want to take some questions that people might be afraid to ask right now?
yeah. Sure,
All right.
guys. If
Does
you
anybody
want
have?
to ask us any questions, feel free to put
Yeah.
them in the comments. I
Any?
think I'm open to pretty much answering anything.
Right. And the dumber the better, because get it out of the way. Get it out of the way. There's a lot of misconceptions. Like I said, we opened it up with a true or false. Is autism contagious? Well, the answer is no. It's not. It's false. So
Yeah,
that is easy. You're not going to get it from somebody sneezing on you. You're not going to get it from sitting down next to somebody. Now, a lot of people would argue that vaccinations cause autism. I disagree. Right now, there's a lot of campaigns in America fighting against that. Another thing too is autism an excuse to get away with anything? No, it's not.
no,
We got
no.
Megan's blog in the room. Thank you for hanging out with us, Megan. And Panther
Hey,
Zone said,
Megan, good to see you.
Panther Zone said, not dumb. Well, yeah, we know. It's sometimes people just really don't. You're right. There's no such thing as a dumb question, but we were just trying to say there's questions out there people are afraid to ask, and
Yeah,
we're not.
Megan, throw some
Yeah,
questions,
we want to
Megan.
hear your questions. No, we're not going to judge you here.
No,
Gemma
no
Gemma has
judgment.
answered.
Megan, feel free.
You should hear some of the questions that. What was the other question I asked? Was something like, oh, well, I heard that people that are autistic, they don't eat. They're very picky eaters. And then you started telling me, well, it might have to do with the smells. It might have to do with the textures. And I'm like,
Yeah,
well, my kids aren't autistic. They don't eat certain foods. And you were like, well, it doesn't mean your kids are autistic. Like, you
yeah.
know,
It's to do. The thing is, it's with food. You actually picked a good topic, because I think this is a good question, guys. What foods are you guys picky with? Do you have issues issues with certain smells and flavours of food, because I'd like to know from my autistic perspective to you guys how you struggle with it.
Right, and if you guys, since we're about to wrap up the stream a little bit, please comment below after the stream with any questions. If you want to be a part of the show, I think the next episode we're going to have a special guest. So we just hit the 30-minute mark. So this is where I think we're going to just do a couple shout-outs. Thanks, everybody, for coming out to the stream. We want to hear from you. We want to know if this is worth your time. If you want to hear it, I'm afraid to ask Gemma, says Panther Zone. Well, don't be afraid. Comment below. We'll talk about it in the next stream. It'll be great. I want to shout out 3 channels. I want to shout out to Cab7. He's an awesome, inspiring channel. I want to shout out to Michael Feyrer Jr. If you need help growing your channel, or you want to be a part of a bigger community and you want to learn more about how to be a successful creator on YouTube, go check out them. And I want to also shout out Nerd of the North, my nerdy brother up north. What a great guy. Gemma, what's your 3?
I want to shout out Megan's blog. She's been really helpful to me recently. I also want to shout out Yankees Outdoor Adventures. He's been really supportive of me for quite a long time. And I also want to shout out a massive shout out to Michael Feyrer Jr. as well. He's been fantastic with me. I really adore Michael. So yeah, they're my shout outs. And
I'm going to throw one more out here just because he's such a big part of Gemma's life, and I respect this man so much because he does so much to help Gemma behind the scenes. And as far as being an awesome creator, ThinkShare, thank you, man. I salute you. My hat is off to you. You are inspiration to me. I know that we don't talk in Google Hangouts, and I know I don't comment on your videos, but I watch just about everything you do, and you are such an inspiration. The things you do for your students, the things you've done for Gemma, the things you do for me, you'll never know the impact that you've made on us every day, every single day. ThinkShare. So my hat's off to you. You are truly an honorable individual, and thank you so much for helping Gemma out when she needs it, because you know this is what community is about. Community is about this, and we do appreciate it. But we're going to end the stream now, so everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. And if you like what you see, tune in next time. We want your feedback. We want to know, are we even wasting your time? Are we wasting your time? That's right. Seeing Gemma, she makes me happy for real. That's right.
Aww, thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Now, I'm trying to, I got to, is it this one? Every time, Gemma.